Good morning, welcome to Morning Review. This is Kim speaking on Friday, the 7th of October. Okay, I'm going to look at the pound first because if you've looked at your charts this morning, you'll have seen this huge move down that we've had this morning. Looking through the news systems, there was no specific news that actually caused the crash here. It was suggested that some analysts have noted the mention of a hard Brexit by the French president in late US hours. However, it looks very much likely it was a large order setting off a brisk algo selling, according to my news service. There you go. Which, I mean, we appreciate that most of the week it's been quite a negative trade anyway, so it's that's what we're seeing the reaction of at the moment. Okay, and seeing the reaction of here. So, where does the pound do? What's it do today? Will it recover some of this? Well, it looks like it's settled at the moment. It may push on upwards and fill more of this movement. There wasn't completely a gap on these charts, and even when you take them down to the short time frames, there was a gap, but the gap that was there was filled within 2 minutes. So it's 10 minutes, beg your pardon. So the gap was filled pretty quickly. That's really where it goes from here. It's already down in its S3s. There is a chance that we may see a bit more of a recovery. If we'll see the daily pivot here is another matter. It'll be I think is it the third day without it. Maybe caught it yesterday. Anyway. It's a different matter, and I think it might have a hard one. Now, there were some analysts pointing to 1.2 as target for the pound. Well, it hit that overnight. Whether or not the other alternative is that we see a proper trend line over here. If we start seeing any sort of significant selling, well, it might start pushing back towards that area. I think it just accelerated part of the expectation, really. Okay, not much else to say on that one at the moment. Now the euro's sold off as well. It's sold off through the Asian session and hitting quite hard at the moment. It's already through down to its daily S1 and beyond. When it's like this so early, it is quite early, and there is a chance that it could come back to the 60-20s, maybe the daily pivot, but it is looking relatively bearish from what I'm looking at here, and we could just see a bit of a continuation, allowing any retrace to the 60-20s becoming as a sell point. Dollar yen, well, it's not really done much this morning through since the Asian session. It pretty much topped out into yesterday's highs. I think that was a extension. Let's just have a look. It wasn't far off the extension as the second target of a Gartley pattern. Okay, it's a bit short of the second target, but there's an obvious area of resistance, I guess, when you're running into those prior highs, but whether it pushes up further this morning is another matter. Look at the 60 minutes. Well, for the long side, a break of this trend line across here would be good enough for me. Looking at that, well, subject to what the 5-minute price action is doing at the time, but certainly may be the opportunity to push on for yesterday's, back into yesterday's highs, maybe the R1. The S1's almost been hit here to the downside, but there is some potential downside. If risk is starting to be talked about in the markets, then we may even see the yen get a wiggle to the downside. But at the moment, it looks more likely still to continue this push. But we'll see. As I say, perhaps a break of what will become a low trend like that. Maybe see it come back and test that 50 properly. Aussie dollar, well, it's been selling off again. It's certainly weakened, and this again through the Asian session, taking a bounce, double bottoms. There's sort of a divergence in the shorter time frames, and quite choppy here. It chopped a lot of time yesterday. No real reaction this morning through the Asian session, just a blip up, and it's not really done too much at all. So it has touched its daily pivot most possible. With the trend that we're seeing here is if we get a break of this trend line here, it starts selling off, maybe we'll see the S1 hit. We've already tested the lows there, maybe they'll be tested again, but it's not a lot of mileage in the move. Canadian dollar, of course I need to quickly look at what oil's up to. Well, oil did strike the $50 barrel. Okay, so but the Canadian dollar hasn't really benefited too much from that price, because there's people that still don't think that the dollar interest rate increase or US interest rate increase is priced into the market, although it's been talked about enough. You thought it's there, but anyway, perhaps not. So the Canadian dollar pushing up further. Not much else to say on that time frame. In the shorter time frame, well, it hasn't touched a daily pivot here, almost into the S1 double top zone here. Maybe if it breaks that and closes below that 60-minute 8, we could see a bit more of a retracement back to the 21s, and possibly the way oil's been sitting high up there, maybe we'll see it pushing back towards its daily pivot. But at the moment, it looks like the dollar's got the day at this stage. That's it for me. News-wise today, sorry, I've managed to delete my news calendar. Just reopen that. There we go. And of course, we've got non-farm payrolls at 1:30. 9:30 this morning, though, we've got the manufacturing production data coming in for the UK. Moved quite a bit last time. It's got the possibility of quite a bit of volatility around that data. Thereafter, as I say, non-farms at 1:30. We've got the Canadian data out as well, so you've got to be careful trading Canadian dollar, US dollar pairings, because you get a muddle on those in terms of the combinations. If you're looking to trade those, and that's pretty much it for the rest of the week. It's or the end of the week, so that's it for me. Have a great one. Bye for now.